All right, let's talk about something we all know way too well: avoidance. You know, that mysterious force that just stops us from doing our most important work. But what if I told you it has nothing to do with being lazy and everything to do with how your brain is actually wired? Let's get into it.
Seriously, think about it. Have you ever had one of those days where you feel super productive, but it's on all the wrong things? You know, you scrub the kitchen, you finally organize that messy drawer, you answer every email, you do literally everything except for that one big important thing that's been staring you in the face. And that's the paradox, isn't it? It's so weird. You clearly have the energy, you're capable of getting things done, but the moment a task really matters, the one that could actually change things for you, it feels like your brain just slams on the emergency brake. So why? What is going on there?
Yeah, we're calling this the important work paradox. It's that bizarre, frustrating gap between your intention to do something meaningful and your brain's sudden, overwhelming urge to do, well, anything else.
Okay, first things first, and this is crucial. We have to get rid of the word lazy. Just throw it out. It's not helpful, and frankly, it's not accurate. What you're experiencing is a totally predictable psychological response. It is not a character flaw. Think of it more like a default setting in your brain's operating system.
So, let's really dig into the why behind all this. To understand the paradox, we have to look at your brain's #1 job. Its prime directive that basically overrules everything else.
Above everything else, your brain's main goal is to keep you safe. And in our modern world, danger doesn't just mean a tiger in the bushes. No, your brain sees psychological discomfort, things like stress, uncertainty, or the fear of failure, and it flags that as a genuine threat that it needs to protect you from.
Think about that big, important project you're avoiding. Does it feel a little uncertain? Yeah, you don't know for sure if it'll work out. Is it stressful? You bet. There's pressure to do well. Is it mentally demanding? Totally. It takes a lot of focus. Well, to your brain's ancient protective system, those feelings are giant red flags. They are danger signals.
So your brain is constantly doing this lightning-fast cost-benefit analysis. On one side, you've got the important work, which feels kind of threatening. And on the other side, you've got all these easy little tasks that offer quick comfort and an easy win. Now, faced with that choice, which one do you think your brain is going to push you towards?
And that right there is what psychologists call avoidance behavior. It's your brain's simple strategy to get rid of that feeling of discomfort right now. It does that by steering you towards something that feels good and safe, even if it's not what's best for you in the long run. This is so important to really let sink in. Your brain isn't your enemy here. It is not trying to sabotage your future or hold you back from your dreams. It's just operating on a very primal, short-term survival instinct. It's just trying to solve the immediate problem of this feels bad in the fastest way it knows how. So if our brains are just wired this way, are we stuck? No, absolutely not. Now that we understand the why, we can finally move on to the how. We've got 4 really practical ways you can start working with your brain's wiring instead of constantly fighting against it. See, the secret isn't to just try and overpower your brain with willpower. That's an exhausting battle, and honestly, it's one you're going to lose pretty often. The trick is to be smarter about it. It's all about making that big, important work seem less threatening to your brain's little alarm system. Here they are, 4 simple, totally doable steps. This isn't about some grand gesture or finding a magical burst of motivation. These are just small, clever little tricks to bypass your brain's alarms and just get started. First up, make the task ridiculously small. I mean, so small it's almost laughable. The thought, I have to finish this entire project, is completely overwhelming. It just screams danger to your brain. But open the document, or how about write just one sentence? That is so tiny and non-threatening that your brain doesn't even bother to sound the alarm. Next, you gotta lower the pressure. The idea of working for 3 straight hours is daunting. But 5 minutes? Come on, anybody can do anything for 5 minutes. This is the classic 5-minute rule. You're basically giving your brain an easy out. You just tell it, hey, we're just going to try this for a tiny bit, no big deal. And what's amazing is how often those 5 minutes turn into 10, then 30, because getting started was the only hard part. Number 3 is to remove choices. Every little decision you have to make, when should I start? Where should I work? It's a point of friction. It's an opportunity for avoidance to creep in. But if you decide the day before that you're going to work on the project at 9 a.m. at your desk, you've removed all that friction. When 9 a.m. comes, the decision is already made. You just have to follow the plan. And all of this leads us to our fourth and final point, and this one might be the most powerful mindset shift of all. This is the core idea that makes all these other strategies actually work. This is the one thing you have to remember. Most of us spend our lives waiting to feel motivated before we take action, but we've had it completely backward this whole time. Motivation isn't some lightning bolt that strikes you from the sky. It's a fire that you have to build. And a tiny action? That's the spark. Action is the cause of motivation, not the result of it.
The moment you stop blaming yourself for being lazy and you start understanding that your brain is just trying to protect you from discomfort, everything changes. You can stop fighting yourself and start strategizing. Productivity stops being this awful battle and it becomes more like a game you can actually win just by knowing the rules.
So as we finish up, I want you to think about your own experience with this. Where do you usually get stuck? Is it about making the task smaller? Or lowering the pressure? Or maybe it's that big mindset shift, really believing that action has to come first, because figuring out your personal sticking point, that's the real first step to finally getting that important work done.